Dear chosen one, there's something different about you, something you may not have always been able to explain, but you've definitely felt it. You're not like everyone else, and deep down you know it. Maybe you've always felt a little out of place in crowds. Maybe spending too much time with people leaves you feeling drained or overwhelmed. That's not because there's something wrong with you. You're not shy, antisocial, or awkward. What you're experiencing is something spiritual. You've been set apart for something greater, and because of that, the way you move through the world isn't supposed to be like everyone else. From the beginning, your energy has been special. You carry a spiritual presence that's different, rare, even. You weren't meant to blend in or go unnoticed. And while that can be both a gift and a challenge, it's important to understand what it really means. When God chose you for a specific purpose, He also shaped your soul in a very intentional way. That shaping includes how you feel in different environments, who you naturally connect with, and how you handle emotional or spiritual energy. You are highly sensitive, not in a weak or fragile way, but in a spiritually alert way. Your spirit picks up on things that others might ignore. This is why large crowds can feel exhausting. Being around too many people for too long might make your thoughts feel scattered, your body tired, or your emotions all over the place. It's not that you dislike people. It's that your spirit is constantly filtering energy, sensing moods, emotions, and even hidden intentions. And while others might not notice these things, you do. Your soul was designed with a deep level of awareness, which means you're more easily affected by what's around you. That's not something to hide or feel ashamed of. It's something to honor. Think of your energy like a powerful light. When it's protected, it shines brightly and gives warmth to others. But when it's constantly exposed without care, it begins to dim. You weren't created to give your light away to every situation or person you come across. You were meant to be intentional, to shine where you're needed, not where you're merely accepted. When your spirit is overexposed to too many energies, you might feel tired, anxious, confused, or disconnected from your purpose. That's a sign to step back and realign. You might have noticed that some people feel very calm around you. Others may become uncomfortable without knowing why. Some might feel drawn to you, while others pull away. This isn't about you being better or worse than anyone else. It's simply about your presence carrying weight. You bring truth, peace, and clarity into spaces, often without saying a word. That kind of presence can either comfort or challenge those around you. And because of that, not everyone can handle being in your space for long. Again, that's not your fault. It's just part of your calling. Every person carries a kind of energy with them, some peaceful, some chaotic, some full of love, and others full of fear or bitterness. When you're around too many different people for too long, it can feel like your spirit is constantly having to respond to those energies. Sometimes you may absorb them without realizing it. You might leave a conversation or event feeling heavy or off, wondering why. That's your spirit reacting to the mix of vibrations it just had to sort through. It's like being a sponge in an ocean of emotion. Eventually, you soak up more than you meant to. Because of this, it's so important that you protect your space. That doesn't mean cutting people off or isolating yourself out of fear. It means being wise about where you go, who you spend time with, and how much of yourself you give away. Your energy is precious. Your peace is not a luxury, it's a requirement for your assignment. You're not being rude when you say no. You're being responsible with your calling. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is be alone. Solitude isn't a punishment. It's a spiritual strategy. When you're by yourself, you're not empty, you're available. Available to hear from God, to receive clarity, to rest and recharge. In a world full of noise and distractions, silence can be a sacred space where divine wisdom is given. This is where God speaks the loudest, in your quiet moments, in dreams, in sudden insights, in feelings that guide you when logic can't. Some people misunderstand this. They may think you're pulling away or distancing yourself for no reason, but you know better. You're not stepping back to disappear. You're stepping back to connect with something deeper. Alone time allows your soul to breathe, to heal, and to grow. It gives God room to work on your heart without interruption. So when you feel the need to withdraw, honor that need. You're not being left out. You're being drawn into wisdom, preparation, and alignment. This journey you're on isn't always easy. Being chosen means being different, and being different can feel lonely at times. But that loneliness is often just space being made for something greater. When God sets someone apart, He often removes them from the crowd so He can prepare them privately. What feels like a delay is often a setup. What feels like rejection might actually be protection. You're not falling behind, you're being refined. And part of that refinement is learning to listen, not just to what others say, but to what your spirit knows. There will be moments when everything around you says, go, but something inside you says, wait. Trust that. Your inner knowing, your spiritual sensitivity, is part of the gift you've been given. The more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. Don't ignore those quiet nudges or gut feelings. They are often messages from above, guiding you in ways the outside world never could. Some people won't understand your path. They may call you too sensitive, too quiet, too intense. Let them. You don't need to convince anyone of your calling. Your life will speak for itself. The peace you carry, the light you shine, and the wisdom you walk in will be evidence of who you are. And those who are meant to walk with you will see it, not because you try to prove it, but because they're aligned with your frequency. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to be liked by everyone. You don't even have to explain yourself all the time. Your only job is to stay aligned, to stay grounded in your truth, connected to your source, and open to divine direction. When you do that, everything else begins to make sense. The people, the places, the timing, it all starts to come together. So if you've ever felt strange for needing more space, for craving deeper connections instead of small talk, for feeling things more deeply than others, know this: you're not broken. You're built differently, and that's exactly how you were meant to be. Your soul was wired for purpose. Your heart was trained to sense the unseen. Your spirit was equipped to carry light into dark places. That's not a mistake. That's a mission. This is your reminder. You are not too much. You are not too quiet, too deep, or too distant. You are exactly who you need to be for the purpose you've been given. Protect your peace. Honor your path. Trust your design. And if you're reading this right now and something inside of you is saying, "This is me," then it's no accident that this message found you. It came right on time. You've been looking for confirmation, and this is it. You are not alone. You are not lost. You are chosen. And your journey, though it may look different, is sacred. Sometimes, too much socializing can take you away from your true purpose. It's easy to get caught up in chatting, hanging out, or scrolling endlessly through social media. But if you're someone with a deeper calling, a divine mission, then you have to understand that your time isn't ordinary. It's sacred. Every moment matters. Every conversation you have is either helping you grow or pulling you off track. You weren't created to spend your days constantly distracted. You were created to build, to learn, to reflect, and to connect with something higher. While the world might tell you to be everywhere and talk to everyone, your soul knows that too much noise makes it hard to hear God's voice. Small talk, gossip, and meaningless entertainment might seem harmless, but over time, they numb your spirit. You can't stay aligned with your mission when your energy is being scattered in all directions. You need time alone, space to pray, to grow in wisdom, to heal, and to listen deeply to what you're being called to do. This doesn't mean you can never relax or enjoy yourself, but it does mean that your calendar should reflect your calling. Protect your time. Treat it like something precious, because in the spiritual world, it truly is. Another thing to be aware of is that not everyone around you has pure intentions. As your light starts to shine brighter, as you step more fully into your purpose, you'll start to notice strange energy from people you thought supported you. Some will celebrate you on the surface, but secretly feel threatened or envious. Their words might be kind, but their energy tells a different story. You might pick up on little things, backhanded compliments, silence when you share good news, or a fake smile that doesn't match their eyes. This is spiritual jealousy, and it's real. It doesn't always show up in obvious ways, but it can drain you just the same. That's why it's important to be selective about who you allow close to you. This isn't about being suspicious of everyone, it's about being wise. Every connection carries energy, and some energies are not safe for your calling. The more people you keep around just for comfort or history, the more chances you give for negativity to sneak in. Discernment is key. You don't need a big circle. You need a trusted few who truly want to see you win, who pray for you, who challenge you to grow, and who celebrate your wins as if they were their own. Protect your peace, not because you're scared, but because you're focused. You're on assignment, and not everyone should have access to that. If you're someone who feels deeply, someone who walks into a room and immediately senses tension or peace, someone who absorbs other people's emotions, you need to understand something. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It's a gift. You are given the ability to sense things that others miss. You pick up on subtle feelings, hidden motives, unspoken pain. That's part of your spiritual wiring. But that gift can become heavy if you don't learn how to manage it. When you're constantly exposed to noise, drama, pain, or emotional chaos, it starts to wear you down. It's not just in your head. You really do feel tired after certain conversations or environments. That's spiritual exhaustion. That's why you need to retreat sometimes. You're not antisocial, you're spiritually sensitive. And that sensitivity needs rest. You need quiet moments, space to recharge, time to release the energies you've picked up. You need solitude not because you're broken, but because you are deeply connected. When you don't give yourself time to rest, cleanse, and reflect, you start to feel off. You lose clarity. You feel overwhelmed. But the moment you honor your need for stillness, you'll feel yourself realigning. This is not about isolation, it's about preservation. It's about taking care of the vessel that carries your gift. Sometimes, the quiet seasons in life feel the hardest. You might be in a place right now where you feel unseen, overlooked, or even forgotten. You wonder why nothing is moving, why people aren't reaching out, why opportunities feel like they've dried up. But here's the truth. God hides those He is preparing. Silence doesn't always mean punishment. Sometimes it means protection. God might be keeping you from things that would harm you, distractions that would derail you, or attention that you're not ready to handle yet. The spotlight isn't always a blessing. Being seen too early, before your roots are strong, can cause more harm than good. In this hidden season, God is doing the deep work, refining your character, healing old wounds, sharpening your discernment, and strengthening your foundation. This is where you grow in ways that no one can see. This is where your integrity is tested, your faith deepens, and your oil increases. When the time is right, you won't have to force anything. You won't have to promote yourself or push doors open. God will do the revealing. But until then, embrace the cocoon. The caterpillar doesn't rush its transformation. It stays hidden until it's ready to fly. Your moment will come, And when it does, you'll be ready to carry the weight of it. In this world, people often chase popularity. They think success means being surrounded by crowds, getting likes, being seen everywhere. But for those who are chosen, the calling is different. You weren't made to go wide, you were made to go deep. Deep with your faith, deep with your purpose, deep in your relationships. It's better to have 3 powerful, spirit-led friendships than 1,000 surface-level connections. When you're connected to too many people, it spreads your energy thin. You can't build anything solid when you're always in motion, always in conversation, always on. That's why God may be removing some people from your life. Not because something is wrong with them, but because they're no longer right for your path. Don't fight it. Don't mourn relationships that were only meant for a season. Trust that what God removes, He replaces with something better. When He calls you into solitude, it's because He wants to speak more clearly. It's because He's trying to align you with the next level of your mission. So if you've been feeling drained by certain environments, if you've been pulling back from old friends, if your soul is craving stillness, listen. That's your spirit telling you something important. You're not falling apart. You're being reshaped. Let God finish what He started in the quiet. That stillness is not emptiness, it's preparation. And if this message hits something deep in your spirit, if you feel like someone finally put words to what you've been feeling, know that it's not by accident. Sometimes God sends confirmation through unexpected places at just the right time. This could be that moment for you. A reminder that you're not alone, that your journey is real, that your sensitivity, your solitude, your spiritual radar, they all serve a divine purpose. So don't let the world make you feel like you're weird or wrong for being different. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to lead, to guide, to carry something sacred. That takes discipline. That takes separation. That takes a willingness to be misunderstood for a while. But in the end, it's worth it. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. Keep going. Stay grounded. Stay faithful. And above all, stay chosen.